live already.
Well, that means we're having a good time, doesn't it? Oh
Yep.
my God.
Okay.
Oh, so
Hey.
you can take your mask off. Although it does look like a Halloween mask.
Does?
Well, sure, because you got Halloween colors there, orange, and you got the black. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's all right. And then I have Reese's cups, thanks to Ruth Ann. So, what did you get?
I picked M&Ms.
M&Ms.
They did it, by the way. Ruth Ann did bring candy in.
I
She
mean, and not,
said last week she was going to.
it wasn't just like a small bag. It was like, a, this is only part of it. So if you come see us, we're happy to share our Halloween candy. That way we don't eat every bit of it.
I know. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, no, what was it? George yesterday was sitting there and he said, "So who's ready to gain 5 pounds?" And I said, "Oops, well, I'm not really, but as it may." Anyway, so we're here at PrismsScape Gems and Healing Center. I'm Gina Kroshak, and beside me, along with several M&Ms of multiple colors, is Miss Tamara Ray. And today, we were just sort of thinking about what to do. And one of the things that kept coming up, because Tamara did such a beautiful job of posting on our Facebook page. In fact, I would recommend that all of you take a look at it. It's quite remarkable. In fact, I'm going to read it to you because I liked it so well. And about what Labradorite does for us. I'm not exactly the most agile person at this point in time, but that's
You
all
got
right.
more Reese's cups stashed back there?
She brought a whole bag. Are you kidding? Well, she was in, Ruth Ann and I were working on, what day was it? Tuesday. And I just mentioned that I really appreciated the Reese's cups because they're like just about my favorite if you're just going to eat regular candy as opposed to, dark chocolate, 70% plus. And she, next thing I knew, here she comes along with a bag of Reese's cups. And anyway, yeah, one day, well, when we were talking last week, we were talking about the Reese's Cup ads for Halloween and how nice they were. How I love the vampire ad, but they don't play it anymore. I wonder if the vampires got mad at them. What do you think?
Welcome, everyone. I'm glad that we have you for a few moments here as we're talking about transformation and transformational energy. Feel free to leave a comment so that we know that you're here. Also, participate in the discussion today. We last talked about Labradorite in April. So obviously a lot has changed in our world and in our environments, and I think within a lot of us ourselves.
Within ourselves, yes.
Even the small changes have kind of started adding up to be quite massive. So if you have something that you have transformed or changed in your life, please comment, share with others what kind of transformational moments or energies you've worked with and how
you've
I guess.
experienced it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me read Tamara's post today because I thought she sort of did a really nice take on. Labradorite is one of those stones that is magical. It's almost impossible not to fall in love with Labradorite. Granted, there are some people that may not, move them, but the incredible brilliance and the flash of Labradorite is so amazing because it changes colors based on how you have it in the light. And to some extent, a Labradorite is very much like each of us. Our personalities can be so different. Some people like to say they're sort of like chameleons. They adapt to their environment. and the personalities that they're around and what they're doing. And we've just got a very few pieces, although the post, oh yeah. Labradorite was the first stone that ever talked to me in uh, Hi Ruth Ann, and we're so grateful for the uh, candy. So yes, shows me such wonderful pictures and memories. Yes.
That looks like
So
a person in there.
it does.
Does.
It does. There are, but you know, in many ways,
Or being, I should
well,
say.
and one of
not
the
a
things
person.
that Labradorite talks about is that the stone community is all brothers and sisters. And so, and the back, it's very rare for Madagascar Labradorite to come out um, polished on both. It's very seldom you're ever going to find a completely unpolished Labradorite. That is the unpolished side, which is so beautiful. And then you've got the polished side, right?
Mhm.
And it was found in, originally Labradorite was found in Canada, in Labrador, of all places. But some of the most magnificent is in, by the way, just so you know, I found one of those over there the other day, way in the corner,
An M&M?
a green one.
Oh.
Yeah. So, so let me read what Tamara wrote today because I thought it was really quite delightful. She said, "What would it take for you to live your best life? How are you moving through the limits and challenges to be more present and experience the magic in each moment? Labradorite is a powerful companion for transformation, support for those doing the inner work to bring truth and authenticity into their beingness here and now. As you can see, it's activated, ready to assist. Peace be with us all." And what was really fun is that then when I looked on my regular page, one of our regular customers, Haley Lopez, was talking about how she has just uh, passed the milestone of passing her nursing, a certified nursing assistant, and she has now taken a job. Hi, hello, Paul. Um, to, taking a job at Mercy Hospital, and how the pandemic, of course, makes us all begin to understand and value how important our lives are because it's we seem to better understand that life can be transitory in a way that many times we want to pretend like it isn't. And so Labradorite is one of those where it lets us just flash, but it also lets us transform. And what are you?
So
Paul's
this is,
saying something.
oh, what is he saying?
Yeah. So, and which one is this? And a lot of the Labradorite has the blues, but we also have a few. We're glad you dropped by, Paul. We miss you. I particularly miss you. Your hanging around the summer was a lot of fun.
So I'm trying to get the back to show on here. It's showing up really clear for me, but I'm just not sure if I can get it on here.
Yeah.
What's really beautiful about these pieces is that both the polished and the unpolished sides are so vibrant. So here's, just have to kind of, this one's doing really well to show all on its own. So this whole bottom section right here, once I get it to show, it's like a really deep purple, like a violet purple. And then it has the bands of the gold and the orange in there. So, well, you can, I think this one photographed really well when it was just kind of sitting there. The purple is not wanting to show up in this one, but in person, and when you put it in just,
Yeah. There you go.
I know, but it's just not wanting to work.
Well,
in
but
here.
I think that's part of what happens with magic. That's part of where the magic is. is that you can't see it.
Well, not everyone can, but
But it's also that whole business of it flashes. you know?
what? Paul, he has to run, can join for the Zoom presidential watch party.
Yeah, he's got his debate team doing a Zoom watch for the presidential.
Did you send me a
Debate.
link, Paul? If you're still on here, I'll message you. If not, I definitely interested in watching
Yeah,
with others.
it's going to be very different.
Yes,
Yeah,
that'd be
so,
really awesome.
Yeah. So this is this the one that was so amazing? Which one is the one that was sitting over there?
That is this one.
Okay, so this was what we've done, and Ruth Ann was helping us change one of our shelves over to slabs, and this one was sitting over there, and it kept talking to me so much, and I had to bring it. In fact, that was probably one reason why that and Tamara's post was one reason why we wanted to talk about Labradorite today, and um, I know that our business has been transforming. Each of us has been transforming. Um, and we are,
Oh, there we go.
There.
Bam. If Alice is on.
yeah, that's a good one. So,
This one is quite fascinating. The
hi, Susan.
way that it never mind.
Go ahead.
It just kind of remind me of looking into a microscope into like a
Mhm.
petri dish, because there's like all these little clusters of colors all around in there. So
Mhm.
just, I don't know. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it is Labradorite. Well, with all of that, it's allowing us to look at, it's really all about community and Labradorite from its perspective.
Mhm.
Yes, it's magic and transformation, but part of its message is about being in community with others and how it works together to bring about the transformation that people want. And so, one of the things, if you're going through, what is it?
Please finish.
Well, if you're going through any kind, I think every one of us is going through remarkable changes right now. And so it's Labradorite is the stone to have. It's like, are there certain stones that you should have in a collection? I would say Labradorite is one of them. So what did you find in there?
So one of the things why Labradorite is so magic is you can just kind of really, you can continue to move it around and you'll see totally new things. So when at this particular angle, where from my perspective here, there's these bars that are running through here, kind of like a barcode, and it's also pools of like glittery sparkles in there.
Yes.
And it's just like completely missed it, but it looks like the night sky from this angle. It's so sparkly, and these look like comets, like shooting stars that just went past. So anyways, so just love Labradorite. And yes, I saw that, Kama. Labradorite is her fave.
Hi, Kama. It's one of mine too. I mean, it's right up there with the rose quartz. But rose quartz is all about love. So Labradorite also allows us to um, better understand ourselves. It's a good stone for meditating with and for working with, because and this is just a continuous conversation going on in the shop since COVID hit, particularly, is this whole idea of how many of us can be with ourselves, that many of us occupy our lives with others, or being busy, doing this or doing that, and never taking time out to sit and to look at the inner layers of ourself. And so Labradorite is a really good stone to allow us to sit and look at all of the different parts of ourselves. And we have so many. Weird, somebody was talking about, and I can't even remember where I was hearing it today. It was in our Feast of Days morning reading, talking about how the memories of people we've known or the places we've been are always helping shape who we are. And so the Labradorite allows us to go into it and start looking at all of that and look at the magic. It also reminds us to believe in the magic. There are times when we get so frustrated with the actions of others that we allow that to dominate us rather than the joys that come with looking inside or sitting with a piece of rock, a beautiful piece of stone like a labradorite. And that one looks like, makes me think of a tree.
Of a tree?
From the back, it's sitting there, or a stone, one of the stone hinges. Yeah, pretty good. So, yeah, the back side of it. Oh, that's so pretty. See, the thing is that Labradorite helps us understand that each and every one of us has that incredible internal light and incredible internal beauty. And anyone who ever thinks that they should say bad things about themselves, it's time to pick up a piece of Labradorite and to better understand how incredibly wonderful you are and that you touch lives every day in one way or another. And it makes such a difference. And the world is transforming as I look out my window. Oh, I bet it's getting pretty out there. Sounds like you're watching a sunset, Ruth Ann.
Well, she also said that we looked really nice today, and I just wanted to thank Kama and Margaret for dressing me today.
Oh, did they now?
Yeah, they did.
And I have to thank Joe Firkins from the down the way
At the look?
At the look, because she fixed my hair. So one of the really peculiar things that's going on with me is since my surgery, some of it didn't go the way we wanted it to go. So there's been a delay. And so I can't take showers to wash my own hair. And so I'm going around finding different stylists. And one of these days I'll find the perfect one. Because, so, yeah.
Kama pointed out that she felt like she could see an angel in the Stonehenge one.
There.
And that's what I saw too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
for sure.
So it's really important.
Hello, Angie.
Hi, Angie. It's good to see you.
Oh, this dragonfly shirt, it's activated by the sun. So whenever I'm out in the sun, it turns into a rainbow.
Does it really?
Yes.
That would be so cool. So no wonder you wanted to talk about Labradorite today.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I was just feeling that energy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So because dragonflies are part of transformation.
Absolutely.
And the changing of life. And one of the things that's really, this is a bit of history that I don't think you know about.
Okay.
About PrismsScape and its evolution. Oh my God. An angel popped in. Okay. So, so in 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. Here, hold up. I got the phone. I can answer it. Okay. So we, Joyce McKinley and a woman named Karen, I think it was Garfield, or Garland, we talked about trying to take the building that we were in on Fifth Avenue in Coralville and turn it into a healing center and a shop. And it was going to be named Dragonfly Emporium. And so, but it was one of those things where I was still working full, two 2 out of 3 of us were working full time. None of us really knew what we were doing. And so, yeah, so the first name that we had instead of PrismsScape for the shopping part was going to be Dragonfly Emporium.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
nice.
And, but that was before the rocks started talking to me. And so once the rocks started talking, it was all over. The dominant thing had to be the rocks. So we have somebody new. Isn't that Carrie? Is it Carl?
It says Court.
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 Hi.
Hello, hello.
Good to see you.
Courtney.
Courtney. Nice to see you. So anyway, so that's where, and then, but yeah, but all along it's about transformation because I really think that that's what being on a spiritual journey and just a part of life is all about, is starting to know ourselves much better. We transform. One of the things that's so amazing is that, and a lot of times trauma transforms us. We look at who we were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 1 year ago, and we can see the changes. But one of the things that Cindy Fox likes to say, and I must admit, she's camera shy, so us getting her on here to talk with us,
It'll happen someday.
it will, good. It will happen someday. But she talks about the fact that sitting with ourselves, and of course her specialty, one of her specialties is meditation. And so, and it doesn't have to be any particular type of meditation. It literally is just learning to be with ourselves. I know after my first husband passed, it was the first time I had actually lived by myself in my entire life. And I was, 54? Because I'd had older sisters, so I was always around someone. And with others. And there's some of us who can really enjoy being alone, but many find that it takes effort to be just with ourselves.
Yeah. So I'm on part of so Angie had mentioned that she got in, missed the first like 15 minutes or so of the live. So we're talking about transformation, and we last talked about labradorite in April, and just kind of going back and looking at how you have transformed, what kind of transformations you've seen in your life. And you're welcome to share in the comments if there's anything in particular that you want to share with the community, because many of us are have really spent a lot of time doing some transformational work, some inner work, and showing up quite a bit differently.
Yeah.
Going through Facebook memories, I don't know why this year was the year that I really felt like I wanted to do that. I made an intention to go back, and sometimes I don't realize how far I've come until I take a few moments to actually to go back and revisit and to see how much of my life has changed and really has transformed. I definitely feel like I'm a lot more confident in who I am and who I'm becoming. And being on your own, that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to. It's the most scary, terrifying thing that I can think of, and it's also the thing that I want the most. Having an opportunity to live on my own and take care of myself, and really cultivate that independence and that self-reliance and the ability to be my go-to person, and what that looks like for me. And yeah, it's absolutely scary, but at the same time, that's the thing that I want the most. I think that will be my biggest teacher, helping me to see, and then also learning to reach out and ask for help. And there's areas in my life that I have some shortcomings or a struggle for me. Learning to ask for help, that's been a big one this year. And taking that time for my own personal self-care and setting healthy boundaries. Those are major things that I've really, really spent a lot of time on this year.
Yeah, those are very important. And one of the things that asking for help is very important. That's one of the things that this last round of surgery has done for me, is it's been very humbling and requiring that I recognize my own limitations and ask others to help. And so as a result, Tamara has stepped up and is doing much more than we originally planned when I went off in August. We thought I'd be back, my Energizer bunny self, and that didn't quite work out that way. But people are always willing to help each other out. Probably one of the nicest things is when you come across those stories about where someone discovers another person who needs help, and then they bring a whole community of people together to help this one particular person. And then they remember, oh yeah, this feels so good. And that's one of the things that's been actually in many ways helpful for all of us as we have listened to some of the really beautiful stories about
The
people's
derecho recovery.
the derecho recovery.
Mhm.
And for those of you, if you didn't see the news story, it is the most expensive storm like that that's ever happened. The only thing that was more expensive this year was the Hurricane Laura. The derecho was what, $7.5 billion in damage as it went across. And so helping each other through these times, and it looks like we're, let's see, what did Angie say?
So Angie said, I resparked my interest in crystals and stones. That's been wonderful to have you here.
Yes.
March was start of working with Daniel. April was the start of me working a remote job and lots of new stuff.
Yeah. So it has been I just don't worry about it.
I'm not going to
An
take much
M&M
anymore.
decided to be a renegade and fly away, so she couldn't eat it.
I'm not doing so good with the tosses.
Well, that's all right. I would say your M&Ms are just little renegades. You just got yourself a little pack of renegades there.
We'll take care of that problem right now.
Are you? No. So anyway, so that's pretty much, we're just sort of hanging out, and it has been are you gonna get all jazzed up with
Nope.
chocolate?
I'm gonna share these candies with them. For everyone that shares something, I'll toss you a candy.
Yeah.
You ready to catch it?
And then you have to come in and actually pick it up so we can see you, right? Right. Yeah. And we're here. We'll be here tomorrow, Saturday, from 11 until 5. On Saturdays, 11 until 4. On Saturdays, we have Jody joining us. This Labradorite needs to be shown.
Mm-hmm.
It's so pretty. Now, this is one that is completely polished.
Oh, Ruth Ann said, did you show the big stone?
That one.
Not that one. Well, we are now.
That is so pretty. So she had just put this whole display together when I said, don't you think we should do Labradorite? Because I saw her post and she's going, you mean take my display all the way apart?
It wasn't like that. It totally made sense.
It did make sense.
It's fine. And it was just a momentary thing. They were like so loud and they were so flashy. And I'm like, what's going on with you today? And so then I just kind of sat there and I looked at each one of them and I found the way that they wanted to be shown. And then I'm like, wow, you look so good. I'm like, fine, I'll take a picture. And then I shared it with Facebook.
Yeah. So, but that is what part of its lesson for us is that just getting us into the right light,
right,
for us to be seen by others, so we become the brilliant, beautiful beings that we are.
Yeah. Well, that was a huge transformation thing for me to go through because I'm a very private person and try not to put too much of my stuff out there. Very reluctant, especially to do Facebook Lives. And then the challenge, COVID hit, and it's like, well, we need to get these crystals out to people who need them. And how do we help? How do we help these crystals get out into the community so that they could be used and
Yes.
you know, activated, like working with people? And so then the idea came to do some Facebook Live sales, inspired. You know, Paul had shown us a few things, some other places we're doing, and yeah, there was like nobody else that was going to be able to do that.
No,
And
there really
so
wasn't.
there wasn't. It was up to Paul and I, and luckily he is an amazing coach.
He
And
is a good coach.
and boy, he had to really put up with some stuff to try to get me to do it. I still remember the first couple times where for the first, like the 15 minutes before I would go to press the live button, I would like almost want to throw up. And I'm like, there's no way, I can't do this. And
But
just,
you do.
but yeah,
And
and
you
it was
do a
just
great
like,
job.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I'm a lot less, well, I just moved through a lot of the fear of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to say something dumb. It's guaranteed I'm going to say some stupid stuff
Well,
at some point and then completely embarrass myself. That's a given. That at this point I've already accepted it. And then when it doesn't happen, then that's more of a surprise. So I'm okay with that. And I think people like the quirky stuff.
They
And
do like the quirky
and
stuff.
like to
They like the human stuff.
the human stuff. Oh, I'm all kinds of human.
So I think that's it. I think it's that whole uniform, the commonality we have is that all of us have those fears and wonder about whether or not we can actually do this sort of thing. But the answer is yes. And it makes a lot of difference.
It does.
And it helps give us it helps give others the comfort they need to try something new and different. And trying something new and different is so important. I think you might have
Okay. So, oh, people are responding. So,
I guess you're gonna have to be throwing all the chocolate at them.
oh, I'm throwing all kinds of chocolate at you guys.
So, but you gotta actually come in and let us, well, I don't know that we'll actually throw it at you. Camera will.
I might.
But
Okay, so we have, yes, we got that one shown, Ruthann.
yeah.
You're welcome. And your hands would shake for the first few minutes.
When
And
you
that
first
doesn't
started.
happen. Oh my, don't be telling me you're watching me that close. Oh my gosh, Danielle. And who else was that? I think Candy. I don't know if Candy's on right now, but sometimes people would take screenshots of the videos, and Danielle had me up on her computer or up on her TV one time, and I'm like, oh, I don't need to know this, guys. Like, don't show me that this is happening. Like, that's a huge fear of mine, and now it's like happening. It wasn't so bad.
No,
But
yeah.
yeah, my hands still shake. My hands do. But yes, I have grown a lot and a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it's the comfort level is well, and at some point in time, you just turn yourself over and let the rocks do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was some, allowing that the messages to come through, because that's sometimes afterwards I would sit there like an introvert that I am and go back and process through the whole entire thing. And did I say the right things, or did I adequately talk about the crystals in the way that they needed to be? Did I share really what their message or their story was, or how they would be able to help people? So yeah, I did quite a bit of that, but most of it just became I had to trust, and you've taught me a lot about that, about just when I'm holding the stone, allowing the stone to kind of share and speak and give me the words that they would like people to know about them. So, and
oh, Alice is here. She just got here.
Alice, we had a bam moment earlier with the Labradorite. Totally called you out for it. So, and thank you, Kama and Sandy. Give my chocolate to another. Yeah, I know. I was trying to do a sugar detox too, and then Ruthann totally just brought in this bag of.
I'm guilty. I asked for chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, we started it, and actually, it's because of Halloween.
I don't
So,
celebrate Halloween.
huh?
I don't celebrate Halloween.
Well, you celebrate a lot of other things.
I do.
Halloween is the beginning of the holiday season
Mm-hmm.
because then you have All Souls Day, All Saints Day, then All Souls Day. That was one of the things that was really quite interesting to me. I had originally thought that Halloween and the Day of the Dead, that's very a traditional holiday in Latin cultures. I was thinking that they were the same day, but they're not. They're different days. And I found that that was one of the things for me. It some of the symbols of Halloween, like particularly the skulls, which are part of the Day of the Dead. It's taken me quite a while to transform my whole attitude about skulls because early on, uh, I was sort of creeped out by them. And but then when we were in George and I and Kristen were over in England taking a class with Judy Hall, and she had written a book on skulls and also explained their significance and working with them and how to do things. And so one of the things we did is, and we'll have them out sometime next week, we got some of the most adorable, I don't even know if they're rocks, but adorable skulls that are silly that we decided would be perfect for this time of year, going into the end of the year. And but we're going to do really fun things coming up. So in Thanksgiving, we're going to have the two sales events on the first and third Wednesdays, but then we're going to do three um, sales events and to coincide with our open house, our holiday open house weeks. And so we'll do three live sales. And we're in the process of brainstorming, putting together Christmas sets or collections. And it's not just Christmas, but just gifts, holiday gift giving. And one of the things that we will be looking at particularly are some of the themes. I'm particularly, we're looking at doing ones on gratitude. So for those people you want to just say thank you to. And for me, that would be me saying thank you to all of you because you're all out there and you're the reason why this business is still going.
Absolutely. This year is actually been quite difficult for smaller businesses, especially with the online presence. We are doing everything we can to have a stronger online presence. We are coming up with a few ways to encourage people to leave reviews, let other people know about your experience here. Leave comments, share our events, our live feeds, the different things that we're doing, because it's I'm just going to say, like, we can't really compete with a lot of the big businesses because they just have so many access to so much more resources than we have. But that's where community is so important because
Yes.
we have community. We have all of you in our community. And if we were to be here, remain vital, that's because we are needed in the community. And so the little things that you can do, again, you can leave a review on Google.
Yeah, we have a
on
Google
Yelp.
My Business page.
Mhm.
That really helps in terms of your experience. It's like we had a, I mean, it's like Saturday was so much fun for me. I was just sitting here and because I'm not real mobile right now. And so just sitting here and talking with people is just such a blessing. And Richard Nagel came over from the Quad Cities.
Oh, I miss him.
And so what's catching your?
I don't know. I just noticed. I'm like, what time is it? It's 4:44.
Oh, wow, the angels. No wonder. So can you show them that? It's really quite adorable.
Well, the first time I saw these around the shop, I thought it was a dragon, and it turns out that it's an angel.
So that you may have seen these little packets of angels that you can get. And I started when, oh, I don't know, probably 2010, 2011. There was this great bookshop in Boone, North Carolina, that whenever you got your change, they gave you several of those in with your coins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so I would buy some, and then I would just, I worked in a very serious office. And so I'd periodically sprinkle angels on people's desks. So,
Well, Sandy, I'm so glad that you love the shirts. We were talking about that earlier. It's a color changing. So whenever I'm in the sunlight, it turns into rainbows. And we weren't even planning on, like, we're talking about transformation today, and that's
and
just dragonflies are
butterflies and
transformation.
dragonflies are transformation. And when they hatch, the thing that about dragonflies that's so astounding is dragonflies have a hatch. And so, like, we're out on a farm, and I remember the summer when we were talking about creating Dragonfly Emporium. We had, I was walking the road, and there had just been a hatch, and there were hundreds of dragonflies everywhere. And it was just awe-inspiring.
Yeah. So from a lot of the stuff that I've seen, and I don't know if this applies across all dragonflies, so just leave that. But dragonflies, the female puts the eggs under the water,
Mhm.
and dragonflies start out under the water 1st.
Mhm.
And they kind of are, I will admit, they're a little bit of bullies because they'll go around and they'll eat up a lot of other stuff, other little, anything smaller than them. And then on at a particular
Sounds like
time, they'll all kind of come up and they'll transition from being um, a water element into an air element. And then of course you have dragons, which is the energy of fire. So that's why I connect them with all three of those elements. So
yeah, and yes, that's our Stonehenge.
And Alice, I didn't get a chance to. She got one of the lavender piece.
ones.
Yeah. So this down here, and I'm not sure if it'll finally show itself or not, but on the bottom here, it's like an electric purple, like an electric violet purple. But it wants to. When I tried to show it earlier, it was being
It's
very,
really wanting to show its fire.
yeah.
At least from back here, it's wanting to show its fire.
Let's see if it'll go this way.
Yeah. So
No, it's still kind of hiding
look
that
at
purple.
it. Yeah. You just have to come see us, Alice. Maybe sometime in November. So.
Oh,
Or December. There you go.
it did it for just a second.
Yeah.
But it's even more in person. And you can do it on the back of it. This is one of the high flash ones that even on the back of it, you're going to get all of those colors in there.
Yes.
So, and I have no problem resetting up that display.
You have,
It'll
okay.
be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are, I mean, we're making some really great changes in the shop, and we're still just, everything's in flux. Today, one of the things that Cindy and Tamara tackled was sorting all of the clear quartz that we have. And when we buy clear quartz, we don't buy just a little bit. We'll buy tables of clear quartz. So as a result, I don't necessarily know how many pieces we're getting until we get it home. And then we have to start trying to sort it all out. But that's probably one of the things that's most challenging for the people who are doing the work and fun for me. So.
Well, I will say that kind of consolidating and reorganizing the courts, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to get to really be seen
Mhm.
for the first time. With I mean, majority of stuff is getting repriced, shifted from one item to another, like item number to another, so that it has an opportunity to really um, see the shelves. I just have to show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because it was,
And I was going to
oh,
show this piece earlier. I could not believe this
well,
piece
it's
is
also
going.
an celestial.
It is.
Oh, I know.
So this piece is going for $14 in the back of it. I mean,
No, that's ridiculous.
well, is it a back? I don't even know if this is the back because it's so gorgeous. And then on the front side, there you go. But if I can show where it is, oh, I have to plug that in here. Where did I see it? It's all over. Okay. So from a certain angle, the celestials looks like a bunch of triangles or pyramids like stacked onto each other. So let's see if you can see right down in here.
Mhm.
You can see all of them building
So
up.
the celestial again is your soul's journey. It's going through, and so it is one of the most significant formations for those of us doing work, inner work, and doing again transformational work, because we're understanding how important it is. And yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't plan on it being here much longer, and I was thinking about getting it, but I'm not going to right now.
All of
We'll see.
us are thinking about getting that.
Yeah, it's stuff
For
like
that price,
this.
let me look at that. It's pretty spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's sparkling.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I think is one of the things that we've discovered in the shop is that once we come through and things show things that okay, let's see, that's gorgeous. 14? So yeah, it's a ridiculous price. We don't know who put it on it, probably myself, and it may have just been here for a while.
Yes, but that's what we're finding and in the boxes, and there's so many really awesome things that just haven't really had
Any chance to be
any
seen?
chance to be seen. Um, and so, yeah, this is just it. And because this would have been considered a chunk out of all of
Right.
the other things, so it's one of those. Oh well, actually, when you take a little bit of time, so there's going to be all kinds of these like really fun little surprises. So coming in and checking out the quartz wall, when you come in, there's a lot of these really awesome
So
finds there for you
and
now.
and to some extent, part of the um, pricing
Mm-hmm.
reflects the growth of our knowledge about the stones themselves.
Right. Yes.
Because early on, all I knew is I loved stones, and I kept buying them, and they kept talking, but I didn't know anything about stones. I mean, like what you would expect a person to
Mhm.
know who's opening a rock shop. And so as a result, some of the pricing was pretty naive, and so it benefits everybody. But anyway, we're really happy that all of you were with us today, and we look forward to the coming days. And I know everyone wants 2020 to be over, but you know, this is such a rich time of year. It's such an exciting time of year. And we haven't, it just got bought.
Yeah, it's sold now.
Okay. So it is, this is a great time to come in and just set aside an hour or so to come visit with us and visit with the crystals, because what you're going to do is you're going to see them in a new light. I think what I've found with the stones is once you, They absolutely love to be picked up. They love to be held. They love to be appreciated. And so the stones that you have in your own home, that's going to be one of the things that is going to be important. It's not just the cleaning and the clearing, but it's the loving as well. And so
We do want to make sure that we mention our kind of keep up with the feed here. Sandy, we would love to have you just come in and sit and be in the shop.
we recommend it.
Absolutely. And as far as Ruth Ann, I tend to not drool over them because it's not very sanitary.
She
And
has her mask on.
however, I do have to admit that more times than not, that when I am sitting with a piece or I'm holding a piece and I fall in love with it, you know, there's
That
some
is
aspect
yours.
about it. There's some aspect about it that is just absolutely marvelous. And I decide, like, I know this isn't for me, but I just take time to appreciate it. Normally, like, I have to say more times than not, that piece ends up getting sold within a day or two, if not the same day.
So, but one of the really interesting things is that the rock dealers, I mean, the old time rock dealers, one of the ways that they tell whether a stone is a particular kind of stone, and this is pre-COVID days, mind you, they lick it.
It's true. Yep.
They do.
Hmm.
And the man who's probably most responsible for us getting into the rock business was a person named Buddy Haney, and he would do that regularly. And to tell the distinction between one kind, it's because they wet it. So
Yeah.
okay.
And Angie, yes, we can, you can send me a message. We can have it, we'll figure out what you want to do with it. But yes, we can reserve this one for you. And you have to do it with no attachment, because if I bought every single one that I fell in love with, I don't even know that there would, I mean, I already have so many. I don't know that I'd even be able to have room in my house. So what I've learned, just like when I fostered animals, it's really great to love on them, bring them back to life, prepare them for their next home. And then the joy and excitement that I get when someone like finds that piece and then I hear that, or whoa, or the connection they like, even goosebumps now, the connection that they have with them, to me, that's far more rewarding than trying to own and claim every single crystal that I fall in love with, because I have a lot of love to give.
This was just
So
yes.
yeah.
But one of the things that's also true that you have to remember is the stones pick you. There was this stone, in fact, Ruth Ann witnessed it. She brought her sister-in-law in, and her sister-in-law had already checked out, but there was this one stone sitting there. It was a rubellite in matrix. It was beautiful, but that stone had been here for a very long time, and no one had been called by it like her sister-in-law was. And that stone would not allow her to walk out of here without getting it. And it was, and when she held it, because they said she was having a little trouble trying to decide about between a couple of them. And she sat down and she sat with the stone and held it, and she said, "This is my heart healer." And she knew exactly what that meant. She said, "Nobody's going to see me for quite a while. I'm just going to be sitting with this rock." And so the rocks are, again, so amazing with their own consciousness, with their own ability to reach out to us, to help us along our own journey and to move us forward. And I think that that's probably a good place
to end. To answer Ruth Ann's question, the licking, it's just like someone who develops their palate to be able to taste the different nodes in wine. For example, there's some geologists and people who can literally tell what minerals are in the stone by licking them, smelling them, feeling them. And that is definitely a way to determine if it's real or plastic. But it goes a little bit further into that, because you can actually identify You can identify the crystals by putting them in your mouth. Although I do not recommend that
No.
because there are some that are toxic.
Yeah.
So,
And they also getting them wet. In fact, you'll oftentimes have, if you go to a show, particularly a show with geologists, rock dealers, they'll have slabs laying in tubs of water. So you can see what they look like when they've been, because that shows you what it's going to look like once it gets polished.
nice.
And so, just it.
All right. Well, we've been on here. Oh, you gave Angie some goosebumps, Gina. So thank you so much for engaging conversation with us again this week. And we do look forward to seeing you next Thursday at 4 p.m. for another live talk with Gina.
And we have, and Tamara, we have no idea what we'll be talking about, but we might have something to say.
Yeah. And the day before, so next Wednesday, next Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month, we are doing our Facebook Live. So Facebook Live sale.
And giveaway.
Yes. So we will be giving away some really cool stuff. Last week we gave away Labradorite.
Yes.
A beautiful piece of Labradorite too.
Oh, yes, it was. So and just remember, you still have, let's see, today's the 22nd. You have 8 days.
Oh yeah, for Crystal Bingo.
9 days for Crystal Bingo. Hold on.
So to finish out your Crystal Bingo cards for the month of August, we are working in partnership. October. I just said August. Wow. Just go back there. We weren't even doing this in August. In partnership with Gifts for Body and Soul, we are doing Crystal Bingo. This is a really awesome win-win for you and for us small businesses supporting by picking out crystals that are super helpful for the energies, navigating the energies of October and then into November. We will start the new card in November. So you have another 9 days, 8 days. 9. Oh, 8, today's 9. Over and both of us are closed. So just as a reminder, I'll just kind of show you the card, see if I can hold it up long enough here for you to see. These are all the different crystals or items that you can purchase, and then every purchase that you make will fill in the card, and then you can earn 10, 20, or 30% off. And for every completed bingo card that gets turned in, we will put you into a drawing for a $100 gift basket. So again, Gifts for Body and Soul is downtown Iowa City, and then us. So blue is us, orange is and white can be purchased at either location. So finish these cards out and get them in so we can hook you up with some good discounts and some beautiful crystals.
Yep. So all of you have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week. And keep bringing us ideas for collections or special Christmas holiday things. It's not really easy to say just Christmas anymore, because we have discovered that there's so many incredible holidays out there. And my sister-in-laws do a Yule log, and you do solstice celebrations and everything. But we want all of you to know how much we love you and know how much we appreciate you, and just hug yourself so you know that hug is coming from the two of us, and not to mention the rocks.
Right. And that middle square is bracelet. Just really quick typo in there. So yes, the middle squared is bracelet.
It's one of those things where you're typing too fast, and sometimes Word or the iPad corrects incorrectly.
Yep. So that's what happened. Peace be with everyone who might be watching the debates tonight. Praying for
stay calm.
Yeah, praying for peace and perspective.
Love and light.
Love and light. Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye. We'll see you next week.